If your brows are this light and you want it to be a little bit darker, then this is going to be your video, so stick around and I'm going to show you how to quickly make your brows a little darker. Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. I call myself a brow expert because I've been shaping eyebrows for over 25 years at the Anastasia salon in Beverly Hills, and some of you have come by trusting me with your brows, so thank you for that. I love showing you all the things that I have learned myself, really. And since I'm nearing 60 years old, I know some of you are close to my age or older or younger and want to get the best brow shape. And I show you different products as well and the easiest way to achieve your best brow. So this video is again about the tinted brow gel. It's just easy to say tinted brow gel, right? But this is a volumizing tinted brow gel because there's a lot of product in here, including the fibers, to make the brows not only darker, but it also makes it thicker. And it's also easy to use. My last brow video was showing you guys how easy it can be. This is very similar. Without further ado, let's get to the model. Although she's got full eyebrows, the before that is, you're still going to get some tips. And with her hair color, it's darker and it looks fuller because there's a lot of light on her. So without all the lights, it looks like she's got a very little eyebrows, very sparse, especially towards the end of the eyebrow. So the brush is something that I love. Although it's a little bit shorter, it's just like a mascara one, right? One side, though, is much longer. The other side, very tight, very, very short, that is. And this one's taupe. We also have blonde, I believe, which is really light. But the taupe, I think, is the best color. I'm using granite. Very dark. So if you're my hair color, you know to use like ebony or granite. So the highlighter, you see me do this all the time. You saw me do this last week. The highlighter is something that I really strongly suggest, especially when you're learning how to use the tinted brow gel. I like to just put a small amount down the bottom. And I've told you guys many times before to use a concealer above the eyebrows. I like to use our Magic Touch concealer. It covers really well. A tiny bit will go a long way. And I'm just going to quickly put some on my eyebrows just to show you that you don't have to use a light concealer stick, but you can see right here, it still makes a really big difference. And by the way, I have an old brow tattoo, right? You guys know this because you've been with me for so long. The brows look much darker compared to the other side, like this model, right? The model shows that she's got much darker eyebrows and haven't done anything, which is why I like to do the highlighter. And also it just adds a nice border. You guys, it can get messy. It really can. So I just want you guys to create those borders. Once you get it down, you may not even have to do that. You might not tell from here, but I'm actually using the longest part of the brush. Taking some off, just like a mascara. You don't want... And I'm going right the middle. Notice that I'm going in reverse, especially when you have light eyebrows, but for anybody, especially if you have sparse eyebrows. I have no eyebrows here. So because going in reverse catches all the hair. So reverse, I'm laying the longest part and I'm going in reverse. You notice that right here up in the front, I did go over it, even though she's got a lot of hair up there. It's not as dark as it is in real life. She's got a lot of light on, remember. I actually went in and just kind of did a little dot up in the front. Do you notice that I went towards the front and there's this little shadow because her brows are too far down? You don't have to get so technical about how to measure and how forward. Just adding a little bit of color up in the front, in the middle front, will make a little bit of difference. And we'll get back to that in just a second. But try that a little bit up in the front, but not much. It's towards the end that I'm going a little bit heavier and I'm pressing heavier. Also, when the front gets a little too dark, that's where you just grab a spoolie brush and just go over the area where you felt like you went too heavy, right? But going back to because I have the tattoo, I'm pressing a little bit harder, so it's more skin. I have a little bit of hair up in the front, but it's more skin here, so I press medium to light. If you want it to be really dramatic, you press heavier, right? Just like mascara, if you put a ton on, it gets thicker and darker. But on this, you just press heavier. And you can see just on myself how much darker it is here. And here, I'm using the brush 18. The brush 18 really does help in cleaning everything up, you guys, right? Especially the top. Now, I was very careful, of course, but the top, you just want to smooth it out. The front is where you bring in for. That's why I said just go up forward with the color. You could always clean it up towards the end. And again, don't forget to use the spoolie. The spoolie just tones everything down. It can also make it a little messy. That's why I like the concealer brush. I call it the concealer brush. It's brush 18. But you can really just hone in on your shape. Look at, I'm using the concealer, but you could also mix the concealer with a little bit of your favorite foundation up here. Now, I just want to quickly let you guys know that the Perfect Pencil is a really good pencil to use with the Volumizing Tinted Brow Gel. Because it has a spoolie on the other end, all our pencils have a spoolie on the other end. I love a spoolie brush, especially this one. You comb it through to, like I showed you earlier, to blend out the product. But if those of you that have very little hair or none at all, like myself, it can get messy with the gel, right? Especially on the areas that you want to get a little bit more color. So that's why you spoolie it out with a clean one here. And I use the pencil just to hone in on any of the areas that needs to be tightened up with the pencil. But you want to mainly use the volumizing gel because it stays on all day. Pencils can come off during the day, especially if you're on the oilier side, like myself. So this makes a great team. Any pencil you have would obviously work, but I do really like the Perfect Pencil because I love the spoolie brush. And I just love adding a little bit of color in those areas where you have a larger gap, holes. So make sure you use this together. Please let me know if you've now invested in this brush because I love this brush. You guys see me use this on every video. And it's just a game changer, not just for this, but I use this for like hair, concealer. I mean, because this is I forgot what type of brush this is. It's synthetic, really, but make sure you clean it too every once in a while. I like to use a hair shampoo just to, because it's more gentler, it's gentle on the hair. So make sure you clean this every once in a while, right? Okay, so, and I want to quickly mention that you guys know that I write all the makeup that I use in the descriptions on my face. Sometimes you guys just want to know what's on my lips. Today, I just used the lip pencil. I love our lip pencils because the color selection is great. The application is so easy because it's creamy, but not too creamy. You don't want it so creamy where it bleeds through. You don't want it so dry where you're like struggling with it. Most of the time, I will use the lip pencil as a lipstick. Sometimes I'll just put a lip gloss. Obviously, for a dramatic look, I'll put a little extra lipstick on my lips. But here's a tip that I want to give you guys, aside from the eyebrows. Slightly off the subject here, but just like the eyebrows, you guys always see me showing you with the pencil. Lay the pencil down, lay the pencil down. Same thing with the lips. At the lip line, I just go right at the line, and then the base of the pencil is laying down, and it's going inside the lip. The bottom part, you obviously can't do this. It's a little bit more difficult. So I lay it sideways. I never go head on because then you flatten the pencil. You want that tip to be as sharp as possible, right? And you want it right at the edge. That way it does a lot of the work for you. You don't have to struggle as much. And you want to keep the pencil this shape. So I just go like this and then I move my lips. But it's a lot easier to do that when you have skincare on. Obviously, you can do your skincare first. Make sure you put it over your lips and just dampen that area. But you want it to be soft so that the lip pencil glides really easily. And you just make it as a lipstick. So I hope this tip helped. It's a little side tip. Please let me know if you guys are, this helps, the makeup descriptions, that is. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you guys next week.